G'day you mob, welcome to the Aussie English podcast. I'm your host Pete. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. I hope you are enjoying yourselves. It's getting a bit warmer at the moment. It is spring, right? We are slowly creeping towards summer and things are heating up. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you have great weather at the moment. And if you're in Australia, don't forget to slip, slop, slap. Put on that sunscreen because it's starting to heat up, and I can definitely feel it when I go out in the sun. I can feel that heat just on my skin. It feels like what I imagine being inside a microwave is like, where even if it's sort of cool, the sun is so powerful you can feel your skin kind of heating up. Anyway, today I have stripped the audio from a YouTube video. You'll be able to see this YouTube video. So it's a YouTube video of a YouTube video. This one is 26 Australianisms Canadians don't understand. You'll be able to find this on my channel. And it's me reacting to a video from a Canadian woman called Gabrielle Linda. So I get into that. I talk a bit more about her channel in the video. Without any further ado, guys, let's get into it. And I hope you enjoy it. G'day you mob, Pete here. Welcome to Aussie English. Today I'm going to be reacting to this video, 26 Weird Things Australians Say, from the channel Gabrielle Linda. So I watched the first few minutes and I thought, you know what, this is going to be an interesting one to break down each of these things that she brings up, because quite a few were pretty good. So I assume the whole video is going to be good. I'll react, give you my view on them, and then hopefully explain them so that if you're in Australia or you want to sound more Australian, you can do so, okay? And obviously go check out Gabrielle's channel. So let's get into it.
But the first thing I noticed that was kind of weird that Australians said to me was, how are you going? Like in Canada, we ask, how are you doing? But in Australia, to see like how you are, they ask, how are you going? Instead of how are you doing?
Super common. How you going? How ya going? How you going, mate? How you going?
G'day, Melbourne. How you going?
This can be a rhetorical question or a question that doesn't need a response, where you're just walking around, someone passes you. How you going, mate? Yeah, good. How you going? You don't want to get into your life story. Very common here in Australia, and yes, it is common for someone to say that and for you to not be required to say anything besides good, mate, and you. How you doing? You can do that. It kind of is used a bit more in Australia, I think, for like if someone's worried about you. Like if I saw someone, that I knew and they looked a bit down in the dumps, a bit sad, I might say, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Are you going okay? Are you all right? How are you doing? How are you doing? It sounds to me, at least off the top of my head, a bit more like you're showing some concern. And this is another one that's funny. The Brits tend to say, you're right, are you all right? As a, how are you going? How are you doing? Type greeting, and it doesn't require much of a response besides, yeah, good, mate, you, or, yeah, you're all right. For us, again, that's like, are you all right? If someone said, are you all right? It's like, yeah, I'm okay. What do I look sick? What's up? Why are you concerned? Are you all right? We would say that in Australia when someone's, in trouble, looking ill, there's some sort of a problem and you're checking on them like, are you okay? Are you all right?
You right there, mate? You right?
So that one's always blown my mind, how Brits say that. It feels a bit weird. How you doing? Yeah, you let me know, Aussies. Is that something you say very often? How you going is just the go-to, right?
The next thing Australians say is too easy, as in like right on, or like awesome, thank you.
True. Okay, so too easy. Yeah, we would use this when someone has asked you for something or requested something and the task that they've given you is too easy. The idea, I guess, is that you're showing that it is not a problem at all, right? It's no problem at all. This is too easy. It's not a problem. So we would use that quite often in Australia. Too easy,
Thank you.
Too easy. Have a good day.
Mate, can you come over and help me later today with mowing my lawn? Oh, for sure, mate. Too easy, No, that's not a problem at all. Too easy, mate. Too easy.
Another one they say that's kind of along the same lines is legend, or they say you're a legend, or if you say something that they like, they just say legend.
This is a compliment that we often use in Australia. If someone is amazing, if they're awesome, you'd say they're a legend, right? They are a living legend. They're a legend.
Damn, you're a legend, mate. Tell me a legend.
So if someone tells me they're going to do something, like, oh, I'm bringing back your mower today. I don't know why we're talking about mowing the grass so much, but it's on the top of my head. Maybe I need to do it. If they're bringing back the mower, I might be like, oh, too easy, legend. I might say, you're a legend. Thank you so much for doing that. It's like I'm giving you an honor. I'm giving you a compliment. I'm calling you a legend for what you are doing that is so trivial. You are an absolute legend. Legend. What a legend. Yeah, it's common. And if you like someone a lot, right? Like, oh, mate, you got to meet my mate, Tim. He's such a legend. The guy is He's amazing. He's a legend. He's a legend.
So that's Glenn up there. He's a legend, Glenn.
You can use it for someone amazing like that too. I don't know if it works on women too much or if women would say it about men or women, but it's definitely something men say about other men.
Of course, the classic cheers. They say cheers a lot. It's like a word of approval, or sometimes even like thank you, they'll say cheers.
Sometimes it's pretty much always thank you.
Thanks for your time. Cheers.
I don't know about approval, like if you're doing something that someone approves of, obviously, would they say cheers? I don't think it would be used in that sense, but it would definitely be used in like, here's your coffee, mate. Oh, cheers. You know, as in thank you. It's just another way of saying ta, thank you, cheers. Cheers, mate. Oh, too easy. You're a bloody legend, you know? You can string all of these together, guys. By the end of this, you're going to be fluent in Australian English.
Something that I actually really like Australians saying is darl. Darl? It kind of sounds like doll when they're saying it, but it's like short for darling. Like, thanks, doll.
Sounds like doll to her because in Australian English, we're using a dialect of English and accent that is non-rhotic. The short story is we only say R if a vowel sound comes after the R in a word. So in the word dal, it's just a long R sound, dal, because there's an L after the R. This is short for darling, and typically men might use this on their wives, their girlfriends.
What do you call that, Dal?
It's a little outdated. I don't know if they would do that too much anymore, but you'll often hear women using this, especially older women, when interacting with younger people and even people their own age.
Hi, Pauline. Good to see you, Dal.
Like a good example is if you went to an outback pub or an outback store or something away from the city. You're in the sticks, you've gone into a milk bar and you've bought a drink or something, she might be like, oh, that'll be $5, Dal. It's like love. It's the same thing. She may say love as well. It's just a kind of affectionate, informal way of referring to someone, you know, yeah, informally. I wouldn't typically use this on women myself, besides maybe my wife, but I don't think it's a word I go to. If I use this on women that I wasn't in a relationship with, which is, you know, every single woman except my wife currently. Currently? What the fuck, Pete? It would seem a bit weird. Oh, thanks, Dal. You know, they might be like, what?
Obviously, in true Australian fashion, I've never heard that word be used so much. I actually don't know if I've ever really heard anyone use that word. In Canada, we mostly just drop like F-bombs every second word. So yeah, I'd never really heard before. But
man, you guys have got to paint with every colour on the palette, right? It's just used a lot in Australia. We say cunt. We say it a lot. We say it in very negative ways. Someone can be an absolute cunt, you know, and it's about the worst thing you can call someone. But we can use it in a very positive way. Someone is a mad cunt. My best mate, Tim, he is a mad cunt, you know. Davo down the street. He's a mad cunt. That guy is a top cunt. He is the best guy I know. So we can use it both ways. Again, this is tied in with our culture, informality. We swear a little more, I think, than Americans, Canadians, and Brits. And we use the C-bomb a little more too. I think Brits use the C-bomb quite a bit. Americans are pretty loath to use it. They will not do it very often unless they are in dire straits and really scraping the bottom of the barrel for insults, I think. You know, that's sort of like, oh God, do we really drop the nuke? You know, I'm going to get shot.
they say it all the time. They say it to their friends. It can be like an endearing thing, or it can just mean like a person.
This is so true. Like I would say, I remember back in the day, if someone was messaging me or called me or something, and it was one of my best mates, you know, when I was a teenager or whatever, you'd say things like "sup, cunt," you know, as in, "What's up? What's up, cunt? What's going on, cunt? Yeah, what's up, cunt?" You know, it's a common one. It's a common one you hear. I would definitely not recommend using this with anyone that is not in your closest inner circle of close friends that are Australian. Do not use this with strangers.
Another one that I know isn't like purely just Australian. It's also from like Europe and stuff. They just say rubbish. We don't say rubbish. We say like garbage or trash, and they say rubbish. So I think that's kind of funny.
We kind of use all of them, I think. You'll hear people saying garbage and rubbish kind of interchangeably, and then less frequently you'll hear trash. But it's because we hear so many of these words used by Americans on American TV, movies, podcasts. So we're so used to hearing it. Rubbish, yeah, is typically what's used. We would say, you know, that's rubbish. We can use that too to talk about someone who's lying a lot, spinning yarns, you know, full of shit. We can say that what they're saying is rubbish. It's rubbish. It's garbage.
I think that's all rubbish.
I don't know if you'd say trash, but you could say trash talk, I guess. You wouldn't say rubbish talk. Yeah, that's funny how we have this variety of these different words that we use that are sort of all synonyms.
Another weird one that they say when you say thank you.
She's about to say ta or no worries. I reckon it's going to be no worries.
Like, it's all good. I feel like that's when in Canada we say, it's like, oh, no problem, like, it's all good. They'll say, it's all right.
Ah, okay.
And that one kind of threw me off at the beginning because
Really?
in Canada, I feel like we don't really say like, it's
Okay.
all right as like a no problem thing. It's like, it's all right.
That's a weird one. I wasn't picking that at all, as you guys saw. It's all right. Nah, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, you could use it. It's English. I don't know if that's uniquely Australian. Again, you guys, you let me know. I would have thought something like "so good" is another common one we would use. So good, not a problem. You know, it's all good. It's all fine. It's all right. She'll be right. It's all right. It's all right. There's loads of those I would probably use more frequently than just "it's all right." She'll be right. It'll be all right. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good, mate. Don't worry about it.
Something funny that I've heard Australians say that I really like actually is a feed, like a meal. If they're going to eat some food, I'm just going for a quick feed. I'm here to grab myself a feed. Yeah, I like that one. I think it's neat.
Again, God, I feel like there's other phrases we would say more frequently than a feed. A bit of grub. I don't know. Feed. I mean, we use it.
But they're tasty little morsels. But we got a bit of a feed.
I hadn't even thought about that. That's not one that's on the tip of my tongue, to be honest.
They call liquor stores bottle-os or bottle shops. And a lot of Australian bottle-os or bottle shops are drive-through, which is strange. We don't have that in Canada.
We have this. I was talking to my dad about this recently. And I think a lot of the time it's because bottle-os are quite frequently associated with pubs or other, maybe even hotels. And so people who just want to go in and buy alcohol obviously want to be able to do so quickly. They're not going in to stay. They don't want to have to, go into a store or something. So having a drive-through is the easiest thing. Though when I was thinking about it and talking about it with my dad, I'm like, it is very weird. Do they have drive-through places you can buy cannabis in the US? Do they have drive-through places that you can get other, I think it's got coffee drive-throughs, but you drink the coffee while you drive. You don't drink alcohol while you drive, so I don't know. But yes, they're called bottle-os.
Because if we just drive it to the servo, we can go to the bottle-o. Yeah, definitely turn some heads, that's for sure.
Bottle shops, bottle-o, we use those two interchangeably. We wouldn't really say liquor store, or I think, is there another way that the Brits call it? The Americans call it a liquor store? I'm trying to think. God, nah. Bottle-os are standard.
They call gas stations a servo, like a service station, I guess. We just call them gas stations.
She got it. So service station, that is what servo is short for, and it is a petrol station.
So they were there to buy their meat from the butcher or fuel from the servo.
Gas station we wouldn't really use at all. And we don't refer to petrol as gas. You can get gas at a petrol station, but typically it is like LPG gas that you're putting into the gas. Literally gas. I always got confused by Americans call it, I guess it's gasoline, but it always felt weird. They call it gas, but we call it petrol, diesel, and then what else? Yeah, you would just say gas is literally LPG gas. If you said I'm going to get gas and you meant petrol, people would be confused. Yeah, servos. You may sometimes hear people say pedo, like not pedo, but peto for petrol. I remember that when I was younger. I don't know if I've heard that recently. Like, I'm going to go get some pedo. Yeah, I think we probably shied away from that. That sounds a bit wrong.
They have this weird nickname for the afternoon called Arvo. They'll say this Arvo. Also, when I say it in my accent, everything sounds so harsh and like not cool, but
The reason it sounds weird when she says it is because with phrases like this morning, this evening, this afternoon, or the Savo, you'll notice when we say this, right? We're not saying this Arvo, this evening, this morning, but instead we're saying what sounds like the, right? We're using that schwa sound. So you'll hear this morning, the Savo, this evening.
I often say, what are you doing the Savo? The Savo. The Savo.
Okay, that's why it sounds weird if you say this evening, this morning, this afternoon, or arvo. It's not something any Australian would really say unless they were really emphasizing. No, it's this arvo. The Savo. The Savo, mate. The Savo. I'll see you the Savo. See you the Savo.
Arvo, I didn't know what that was when I first got here, but it just means afternoon.
Not to be confused with avo, as in avocado.
They call McDonald's Macca's, which I'd never heard before. I've heard people call it Don's. In Canada, we call it Don's, Mickey D's, but I'd never heard Macca's. That's what everyone calls it here.
I've heard Mickey D's. My son calls it the Donald's. Though that makes me think of Trump every time I hear him say, we're going to the Donald's. We want to go to the Donald's. Macca's, man, that's it.
Go through the drive-thru at Macca's instead.
Macca's, Mackie D's, Macca's, McDonald's. Yep, it's what we use in Australia, Macca's. We're going to do a Macca's run. You can do a Macca's run. That's where you get in the car, go through the drive-through, Macca's run.
The breeds after a Macca's run.
Macca's, yeah, Macca's.
They call trucks utes. Never heard that one.
No, we don't. We call utes. Trucks are different. Trucks are those huge things that haul trailers on the road, right? Those are trucks. Utes are utes, utility vehicles, right? I know that Americans and North Americans, Canadians too, obviously call those trucks, but that always seemed like you're trying too hard to be bigger than you really are. It's not a truck. It's a car. It's a utility vehicle. It's a ute. It's got a tray on the back. It's a ute. A truck is an actual truck that hauls stuff, right? That has cargo, a vast, massive thing on the back of it, a trailer, 2 trailers, right? That's a truck for me. If you said I drive a truck, I'd be like, well, for a job, that's your job. You're a truckie. You're a truck driver. I wouldn't be thinking ute.
Some guy in a ute comes along, cuts her off.
The other thing that's funny that I don't know if she's going to mention or not is that we call the American trucks, that they bring over here that are utes, that are these huge things. Some of them have like 4 tires at the back. They take up like 2 parking spots. It's a love-hate thing in Australia. If you own one, you probably love one. If you don't own one, you probably think everyone that has one is a dickhead because, they just take up too much space. We call them yank tanks, right? Yankee, I guess that's the long word for yank, right? Yank tanks. It's a yank tank.
They call candies lollies, which I thought lollies were just like a lollipop, but no, it's like any kind of candy are called lollies.
Yeah.
It's a lolly shop full of lollies. Nothing's boring. They're all lollies.
But we use these interchangeably. We may say candy as well from time to time. You will have all sorts of lollies that have candy in the name, I think, and like things like candy apple, you would have candy and you wouldn't call it a lolly apple. But yes, we typically say lolly. Again, we would know exactly what you meant if you say candy.
Another thing they say instead of like no problem is no drama.
No drama? She's still not getting to no worries.
Yeah, no dramas.
They call sausages, like hot dogs, snags.
It's not hot dogs. These are just sausages in general. Beef sausages, typically, the standard sort of minced up meat, really cheap sausages you get from the supermarket. You chuck them on the barbecue. Those are snags. I don't, like a hot dog is it's a sausage that has that red skin on the outside that is specifically for having inside of a hot dog, like the bread, right? And don't get me started on what it's called when you go to Bunnings and get a, God, I can't even remember now, a snag in bread. There's a whole bunch of these slang terms for it in Australia. I think I would just call it a sausage in bread. I can't even remember because I was studying this recently. There's like 4 different ways in Australia. It's like a sausage sandwich, sausage in bread. There's a bunch of them.
And also when they eat their hot dogs, they don't use hot dog buns. Everyone here uses white bread.
We do use hot dog buns. It'll just be that you're having an actual hot dog. But yeah, if you said, I'm going to go to the shop and get some hot dogs, people would never think you were going to come back with some sausages, like, a packet of sausages. They would think you were going to come back with literal hot dogs in buns. If we're having a hot dog, we're having a hot dog in a bun, specifically with mustard, with sauce on it, the American style. If we're getting sausages, typically it's not going to be hot dog related type sausages.
Everyone here uses white bread folded around the snag.
The bread thing, yeah, is very common. I don't know why it's become a cultural thing. I think it's just that we had public type barbecue events, fundraisers, fates, all that sort of stuff, and people would have a barbecue, and it's just easy to have bread, sliced bread, white bread, very cheap, and stock standard beef sausages. Onions will be another thing they'll be cooking up, and they'll have, tomato sauce, barbecue sauce, and mustard to chuck on it as well. But yes, it's very, very common to see that around Australia, much more common than having a hot dog in those types of events. It's probably because we don't have that sort of bread that you guys in the US use to put hot dogs in, so sort of ubiquitously everywhere around the country, it's not that common, whereas white sliced bread, it's everywhere.
I also didn't know what a swag was until I came here. There are a lot of people that have swags, and they're basically just like a single tent thing that a single person could fit into and sleep in for like camping and stuff.
Boom! Straight into the bush, threw me swag out, camped under the stars, and I was healed up.
Yeah, that's true. If you've got like a one-man tent, it can be a swag if it's kind of not your typical large tent type thing. It's kind of like just enough to keep the rain off you. It's almost like a bivvy, but really small, and you can go in there with your sleeping bag and a pillow, and that's pretty much all it is. And it's easy to roll up, chuck on your back, chuck on a bike, chuck it in the back of your car and tow around everywhere.
Now here are a couple of weird ones. A stubby is what they call a bottle. So if they go into like a bottle shop or if they go into a bar, they'll ask for a stubby of something. That just means a bottle of something. And if they want the can of something, they'll call it a tinny sometimes, or a tin.
I haven't heard tin, but I've heard tinny. And stubby would usually be those short, stout alcoholic beverages in a glass bottle. the bigger ones that are like, what are they, 750 mils? Those are long necks. And the standard ones, I don't know if you would call it a stubby. I feel like the stubby, for me, I grew up with it, and it was that short, fat, can-sized glass bottle of things like VB and, Carlton Draft. The other ones, yeah, what would you call them? God, I don't even know. I think it would just say bottle, right? Besides that.
Another weird thing they say instead of just thank you is they'll say thanking you. I've never heard anyone say thanking you before as thank you, but they say it.
Thanking you? She hasn't said tar. How's she not said tar? Tar is the same for thank you. Tar. It's like the quickest, easiest way to say thanks. Tar, mate. Tar. Kids say it quite a lot, but thanking you? Haven't heard that. Maybe that's a new thing.
And they also say ta.
There it is.
I don't know what that was the first time someone said that to me. They said ta. Ta. But it just means thank you. Now this one is just silly. Again, was very confused the first time I heard it. Was sanger. It means sandwich.
I would have always spelled it with like an A at the end, so you don't have to say the R, like just sanger with an A at the end, because you could use either. But yeah, I don't think I would ever pronounce it with an R. No, that's because Australians non-rhotic, right? Yeah, short for sandwich. Sandwich, sanger. I'm gonna have a sanger.
But a ranger is a redhead.
Ranger, yes, a red-headed person. God, I wonder why. Yeah, I don't know why it's ranger. I should have looked that up.
Another thing Australians say that I'd never heard before coming here was it won't be a minute. When they're trying to tell you like what they're about to do, it won't take long.
Yeah, I think I would probably say won't be a minute, as in I won't be long.
I'll just pop out. I won't be a minute. Is that okay?
Yeah, I guess you could do it if you're serving someone, like I'm going to go and buy a sandwich from a store and the lady's like, oh, okay, I'll do it now. Won't be a minute. Yeah, that's pretty common. I don't know if I would ever say it won't be a minute, like really, really long like that. It would be more like, yeah, won't be a minute, mate.
And get this one, okay? A doggy bag. What does that make you think of? A doggy bag makes me think of like the bag that you use to pick up your dog's waste when you go on a walk. But in Australia, if someone asks for a doggy bag, they're probably at a restaurant asking if they can have a takeaway container, which I don't know where that came from, but I feel like I don't want to know the origins of that.
It's because you could take the food home and feed it to your dog, mate. That's probably why. I think that's it. She get to 26. But anyway, yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this, guys. YouTube reckons you're going to enjoy this video next. And I'll see you next time. Tooroo.